Alright, welcome to this video review for Shuriken.com of the Arcade Fightstick Tournament Edition for Street Fighter 4 that's coming out in February, early February. I'm Joey Quire, Mr. Wizard from Shuriken.com.
Alex Valle, Cali Power.
Jim Nguyen, Shin JN.
And we're going to review the stick. Now, it comes in a great box. They put a lot of work into this box, got a lot of actual official artwork from Capcom and Street Fighter 4. It's got a lot of the ink portraits on the sides. And we got Rue on the top over here throwing some fireballs. And then we got a back stick with all the characters that are in the game and showing the actual features of the stick itself. And they have a unique way to open this box. It's actually like a fold out, like this, which is pretty crazy. On the side, it's got a certificate of approval from the Capcom people, and Yoshihiro Uno from Capcom, and Darren Richardson from Madcatz, who actually show their seal of approval that they approve of this fight stick, and it's meant for the general public. Once you open it up, it's got a cover, it's got foam, so when it travels, it won't get damaged. Which is a nice little feature. So this is our arcade fight stick. It's retail $149, and then if you do not pre-order it, you probably will not see it until late March, early April. So get on that now. Now we're going to talk about some parts. I'm going to turn it over to Jimmy for that.
So upon unboxing your Fight Stick Tournament Edition, the first thing you'll probably notice is, hey, this looks familiar. Well, guess what? This came straight from the design of the actual Street Fighter 4 cabinet, the Vulix cabinet by Taito. You notice white buttons, just like the arcade cabinet, white bezels, black case, just like the arcade cabinet. And the best thing, authentic Soundwave parts. Down to the joystick, to the buttons, everything. Even the start and the select buttons are official Soundwave. Markman, our buddy here, he oversaw the design of this product, and the point was to make it as authentic as possible to arcade experience. And he did a good job. Obviously you see a sticker, Street Fighter 4 in the back, official product. As Joey mentioned, official certificate. And if you hold it, it's hefty. It's just like playing in arcade. Down your lap, nice size. And I think you'll be satisfied with it. You can't beat authentic parts, man.
So the stick actually comes with a 90-day warranty if you're in the US. So parts and labor, if anything goes wrong with it, you can return it through Madcatz and they'll get a replacement out or get it fixed for you. If you live in Europe, it's 2 years, so I want to consider moving to Europe sometime soon. Now we're going to talk about the features of the stick. It's got a control panel in the upper left. This controls the guide button, or if you're on the PS3, the home button, which controls going to the menus, talking to your friends, launching games, stuff like that, ease of access. It's also got the turbo feature, which you can make any of your buttons turbo controlled, which means instant jabs, instant combos. So we might want to cheat online to throw someone and mash out like 16 more hits. To activate that, you hold down the turbo button and press any button on the console. The light will represent it by lighting up, and that way you know it's actually on. Easy way to turn all of them off, like if you want to store the stick or whatever, you just hold the turbo button for about 5-6 seconds and it will all light up and then it will disappear. Great little feature. The top, there's two switches on the control panel. The top one is to control the actual stick if you want to use it for other games, analog, digital, shooting games, Mario Brothers, whatever's on whatever you want to play. You can control left analog, right analog, and digital, so it can work in almost any situation if your controller breaks or whatever you want to do with it. It's also got a locking feature, which is really cool because when you're playing in tournaments and stuff, you don't want to hit any of these buttons on accident or turn on a turbo button that will make you get disqualified in tournament play. So you switch to the lock side and it will lock out this whole feature box over here. So even if you press the buttons like accidentally, nothing will happen, won't affect what you're doing, which is a really cool feature. The only thing I wish they would have thought of is controlling the start and select also with the kill switch. I mean, even though they're out of place and they're up top, it's still something you want to secure if you're playing in a tournament, because anything can happen. Might bump against a table or a chair or whatever. So maybe in the future they'll come up with that, and we'll see where that goes. Secondly, there's a headphone jack in the front. This actually works like any other headphone jack, so if you have a regular set of headphones, it should work. There's actually comes with Madcatz as a converter piece, and this will convert your old Xbox 360 headset into the new version, which is you just basically plug and play, stuff like that, and then put this piece on, which secures it, and you'll be able to hear through it fine. The actual audio that comes out of the headset is actually clearer than if you would normally use the headset, which is a crazy feature to include, but they did it, so it's really cool. The third and last feature I'm going to show you is the actual cord case, which, if you know anything about it, it stores your cord. So, I mean, if you want to leave the stick laying around, you might want to store it up so there's not a bunch of cords across the table or whatever, and you might trip over it. The Xbox One has the breakaway portion, just like any normal stick. So if you trip over the console, it breaks away. I believe the Sony one does not have this because they do not support the feature, but it's just a safety feature in general. You can store stuff in here, like maybe your ID, passport. It's a safe way to keep your stick stuff, or if you can't carry on and stuff like that, you might want to throw it in there. That's pretty much all the features we're going to talk about, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Valle. He's going to talk about the actual tournament portion of it and how players feel on it and everything.
Well, as Jimmy said, the parts all Sanwa. What does that mean? Sanwa, basically, their setup is very, very sensitive. So when you're executing your moves, you're gonna get them barely feathering left, right, up, down. You don't have to push up and hold up. You know, you don't have to stress on your controller. The same with the buttons. You can barely tap it, but with whatever your style of execution is, piano, tapping, matching, you don't really have to force too much pressure on it. You can just barely do this, and you get all your moves out.
A lot easier than American old school hat parts, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, coming from an old school player,
Man,
when you're using
guys, man.
360s and those sticks, you're using your arm to move left and right and drag and punch motions. Getting used to the jab styles, you know, the sound ones, you just barely move your wrists, you know, and you get faster results. That's good. And a couple things I want to point out for the people that are pretty brand new to these things, and what's the difference, because we know our good buddy here, the EX4E2, which most Xbox users are using right now for their HDR and other fighting game needs. So, but first of all, Hori, these parts are very stiff. Okay, you say execution-wise, you're gonna have to pull the lever much harder to get results. Same with the buttons. You have to push it hard, or you gotta, you know, you can't really feather it because you won't get your buttons to come out. You won't get jabs, shorts, whatever, and you're gonna get really frustrated. And another bad thing about this stick is that the service buttons are too close to the actual play buttons. So what that means, if you were in a tournament and you were having to mash out of something, you know, over-exaggerate a super, and you hit the service button, start button, that's GG. That's gone.
Out of here.
You're done.
Free win, man.
You're done. That's a free scrub win. You lost. So, and one last thing I would like to point out is the weight. See, some people play on the table, and which you got the rubber legs, which keeps it from sliding. See that? I'm shaking the table. Okay, and also, like it's like 10 to 12 pounds, so you can, you know, fit this on your lap. I play it on my lap, and it doesn't move around. You know, the Hori it slips and slides, so you know, going on the big man right there, you know, it ain't going nowhere. So it's pretty sturdy.
A lot, like Alex said, a lot of palm space. You can rest your hands here, right by the buttons, play all you want. With the Hori stick, your wrist or your palm might sag to the side a bit, but hey, you got a lot of space here, and it's good.
Yeah,
a lot of hand space.
It's a really great stick.
So the stick will be out in early February. Go pick it up. Put your pre-orders in. Otherwise, you won't be getting it.
For our next segment, I will be covering the more technical aspect where I void my warranty and show you what's inside, all the components, the wires, everything. This is not endorsed by Madcatz because it will avoid your 90-day warranty. So join me for the next segment.
All right, peace.
Hurricane.com.